In this video, I'm going to give more examples about how to determine the domain and range of a function. So, suppose this function g of x equal to radical x squared minus 3x. It is defined when the expression under the radical is greater than or equal to 0. So it is defined when x squared minus 3x is greater than or equal to 0. If we take x in factor, we get x minus 3. It should be greater than or equal to 0 for g of x to be defined. Okay, so we have to study the sign of this expression. We can do a sign table. This expression is equal to 0 when x equal to 0 and x equal to 3. So we do this. A regular sign table. G of x, the expression x squared minus 3x is allowed to be 0. So, when we write the interval, we will do it as a closed interval at 0 and 3. Minus and minus give plus, here minus and here plus. So, the domain of G is minus infinity, 0 closed, union 3 plus infinity. Okay, so this is the domain. Okay, now we are going to determine the range of this function. Here the domain is divided into two smaller intervals, as you can see. Minus infinity to 0 and 3 to plus infinity, so we are going to work among them, but not at the same time. Okay, so let's start with x between minus infinity and 0. Okay, closed. So x squared is between 0 and infinity, right? We have this one. We need this term too. So, since x is between 0 and minus infinity, so minus 3x is between 0 and infinity, right? We multiply by 3 and by minus 1, so we get this. Add these two, we get that x squared minus 3x is between 0 and infinity, so g of x is between 0 and infinity. This is the first range we reached. Okay, this is the first half that we reached from this. Now we are going to work among this one. Okay, so if we begin by saying that x is between 3 and infinity, so x squared is between 9 and infinity, right? So we have this term. We need to find this term too. If x is between 3 and infinity, so 3x is also between 9 and infinity, so minus 3x is between minus infinity and minus 9. Okay, add these two together, we get that x squared minus 3x is between minus infinity and infinity. Okay, we added those together and those together. Okay, 9 minus infinity get minus infinity, infinity and minus 9 get infinity. G of x is between 0 and infinity, and this is the final answer. The range is 0, infinity, and this is the domain. Another example I'm going to give is f of t is equal to 4 over 3 minus t. Okay, it is defined when the denominator is different than 0. So f of t is defined when 3 minus t is different than 0. So it's defined when t is different than 3. So the domain of f is minus infinity 3 union 3 plus infinity. Okay, to determine the range, I will do the same thing as I did before. I will work on both intervals and then deduce a final range. Okay, so let's start by a first one that say that t between minus infinity and 3. So minus t is between minus 3 and plus infinity. So 3 minus t is between 0 and infinity. So 1 over 3 minus t is between 0 and infinity. If we multiply by 4, we get that f of t is between 0 and infinity, the first part of the range that we reached from working in the first part of the domain. Now, if we work here, when t is between 3 and infinity, multiply by 4, we get that f of t is between minus infinity and 0. Okay, the range divided into two intervals. This is the first and this is the second. Okay, if we add both of them together, we get that the range is equal to minus infinity 0 open union 0 open plus infinity, written as r minus 0. Okay,